Good afternoon, Flosstube. It's Lori of MischievousStitches. I want to welcome all of you to my channel today. I'm very glad that you stopped by to visit with me. I have several things to share today. I have works on my current focus pieces. I have some patterns that were gifted to me, a couple of things I've kitted up that I want to start here in the near future, a couple of things I picked up while junking yesterday, and a new start. So let's just jump right in. So last week we had a holiday, which was Memorial Day, and it seemed to throw me off all week. It took all week to catch up with the fact that Monday I was off from work. All day Tuesday I thought it was Monday. My rotation, which was on a mirror for my friend Mira's for Kira, I was unable to stitch on it that day because it was a really long work day, and so I skipped that one. All day Wednesday, I thought it was Tuesday. I was off, I come home, I just continued to stitch on my shop model and forgot all about the sale I had been stitching with my friends Mary, April, and Natasha, so I didn't stitch on that one. And by then, I was just so far behind, I just continued to work on my shop model. I've gotten a lot of progress on it this week. I'm very happy with that progress. I will stitch on my Bristol Squirrel sampler later today because Sunday is the day I do that, and I've not taken the chance to do that yet, so I'll share that in my next video. But I do want to share with you the shop model that I've been working on. So this is Gorgeous by the Artsy Housewife, and I had all of this finished. So when you saw it last, I think I had started just the tips of this fern leaf here. And so I finished that one up, completed this flower here, completed the second fern leaf, and now I'm completely done with this half halo, or just the border around the top of the bird. Arbor, I guess you would call it. I did work into his wing. His wing is finished up into the cup, and I also put in the first couple of rows into the teacup, which he is sitting in. He will have a little bit of his tail, and I'm gonna say she because I think that bird is just so cute. I finished up her beak. There was a lot of empty stitches in there, so the beak is finished now. And like I said, the wing. And here, within this stitched area here, is just 310 black. And I'm stitching this on with 2 strands over 2 linen threads on 36 count. And last week I had a little mix up because I thought this was a fabric that it wasn't. And I use Instagram to keep track of what I'm stitching on. And I put the pattern name. I think next year I may start putting when I start it so I can just kind of keep up with it. I find it's a good way, and I can always scroll back. But anyway, I had been reporting the wrong fabric. I thought this was the fabric remnants of the yard that I bought for the Bristol Squirrel sampler, and it wasn't. So I went on a hunt for it today before starting the video, and I found the fabric. And it's actually another piece I had bought at some point, and you can even see where I cut out the piece for this actual piece, the Gorgeous piece. And I thought it had a tag on it. Well, I guess it didn't. I could have swore that it had the tag. But anyway, I must have dropped it. I'm just having problems when it comes to this fabric. But anyway, this is the fabric I cut it from. And when I brought it down, it is a 36 count. It is marked on the, right here on this piece. And maybe I'll share with you again next week when I find what I did with the tag, because I'm pretty sure it was on there, what it actually is. But it is definitely not Atomic Ranch, and it is definitely not Dune. But I think it just really complements, that color complements this pattern with the called for colors. I did not use the fancy floss on this one. It is a shop model, but I pulled from my own stash, fabric, threads, and I use DMC. I love my DMCs. It's not that I won't use fancy flosses, but they're a little more expensive, and I just want to stitch. So again, two strands of thread over 2 linen threads, and just loving the fabric, especially with this 407. There's 407 DMC, which is like a peachy flesh tone color. Just really complements this fabric. So this week I'm hoping to, or I'm planning to fill in all of this 310 in this bordered area here and get a good start, if not just an outline on the cup. Now within the cup it says the word gorgeous. And I asked and got permission from the shop owners if I could maybe do some type of flower, basic flower pattern, like a dot type of pattern. I'm not sure how I'm going to do, and I might just go with gorgeous, and I might not do anything, or maybe I will just put one line of the color that gorgeous is used as the base, the breaking point between the base and the pedestal that the cup sits on. But we'll see. But I'm really glad to have this so close to a finish. And I made a new start. So I think when I came home from holiday on Monday, I had this waiting in the box. And I had my mailbox. I had ordered it several months ago, forgotten all about it. And when it come in and I saw that it was an international package because it come from the Ukraine, I was so excited because I knew exactly what it was. And I don't have the piece. This is all it shows you. So it come packaged in this, and this is what I have. So it's a thread keep, and it's on a wooden blank. I'm really into those this year. But this is how it's this is how it's packaged. So of course I can't read any of that. But on the pattern itself, and I'll show you what little I can, it says Wonderland Crafts. Now it is an Etsy shop. I'll link it below. I want to say there's 3 to 4 thread keeps. If this one is as much fun as the other wooden blank patterns that I've stitched, I may get another. There's one that's a pansy that I really love, but I love this one best. So this is the one I got. And I've made a little start on it. And I just love it. And let me see if you can see that any better. So there's the pattern or the cover on the packaging. So you've got roses and pansies in there. And it's a little bit tricky. It is a normal pattern. It is a colored pattern. But because you don't have a square, you have the actual, you can see like the leaves and the edges of the flowers here. It was a little tricky, but once I finished it, figured it out and started working, we were good to go. So what came with it is this, the backing piece, and some threads, because as you see, once you finish it, you put the 2 pieces together. So you're going to put the back side of the stitching up against this piece, and that's the back side of this piece. That's what will be showing on the outside. So it's just kind of etched. So you put them 2 together, and this is how it will look once it's finished. And you're going to use this, which looks like a small pearl cotton. And you're going to go through these holes outlined here to cinch it together. It does give you a needle for that. And I'm looking forward to getting this one finished up. So this was just one night, what you see here. I want to say it was Monday night, which should have been Mirror for Kira, but it was a new start. And I'm okay with that because I'm really enjoying it. So I'll probably work on this one night this week too, just because I want to watch it develop. And again, I'll put the link to this Etsy shop down below in the description box, and I'll put it under Thread Keep because, like I said, the Wonderland Crafts is the name of the company, but I don't know that's the name of the Etsy store. But the packaging says, other than on the pattern, it says nothing about Wonderland Crafts. Okay, so there was that. And so my friend Mary passed on a few patterns to me this week, and I got them in the mail yesterday, and I meant to send her a thank you before I even started this video, and I'll do that when I'm done, but thank you, Mary. But this is Strawberry Liberty, perfect for this time of year. We're in the patriotic months of summer, and I'm looking forward to stitching this one up. I think it's going to be a quick stitch, a fun stitch, really like that. And I'm not even going to try to say this, but I've seen many of you stitch this, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. So I do want to stitch this, and there's the name. And this is a sampler in Primitives. This is the Rose Quaker. I've seen her pieces on Etsy, which I will link her shop below too. So feminine, so dainty. Love her soft color palette. And I saw just before filming when I was on Instagram that there are some new ones she released, patriotic colors. There's a flag on the bottom of one of them. You should go check them out. They're on our Instagram page, which is, of course, is Samplers and Primitives. It's absolutely beautiful. So there's that. I look forward to stitching this one. I didn't have one of hers yet, had just kept liking them and just haven't pressed that button yet. And then I pulled out a couple of things that I've gotten or I plan to stitch in the coming weeks. This is one of them. Actually today we were supposed to meet together as a group, the Palmetto Stitchers, and put together this piece. And I've talked about it before, but I'm pretty sure I showed the pattern, but I didn't have the fabric. I got the fabric in the week before last. Still haven't started it, but I need to get it started because the date for this finishing has been moved to August, and that gives me plenty of time to get it stitched. And this is the fabric I chose. The pattern chose Dusty Miller Linen 28 count. And I got a 28 count Lugana in Ice Blue, which you can see is similar but not the same as the picture. Now, Dusty Miller may not have blue in it. It may look more gray. You know how pictures of our cross stitch items can look, but this is the piece I chose because I like the look of this here. So I've got to get started on this. So I have my fabric now. I just need to pull some threads and get a start on it. And last week I had gotten this pattern and I don't think that I shared it with you. And if I did, I apologize. But this is a cottage garden. This is peacock. I think this is beautiful. So I did get a piece of fabric for this one. It come with the one for the block party piece. And this is an 1/8 yard of just raw natural linen in 32 count. And I'm not sure, let me see what it calls for. Yeah, this is what the piece calls for. So it's really gonna make those turquoise, teal colors and those greens just pop. So it's a finished piece. It's 100 stitches by 100 stitches, and of course it's round, so you're not stitching all of that area. There's open places, and I think it's gorgeous, and it's gonna be a quick, easy stitch. So I'm looking forward to stitching that one. And then I've picked out my patriotic piece for this year. It was a market release that I know many of us purchased. And this is Erin Elizabeth Designs American Flag. I also have the dinky dies for this. And I don't have the fabric, but I'm sure this is something I can pick up because it's just a white. Smoky white Belfast 32 count, and the stitch count is 101 by 71. So it's not full coverage. There's open spaces because you're stitching it on a white fabric. And the way they've got it finished here, it looks really easy to finish that way because you've got a blue, navy blue and white polka dotted fabric behind, and this is just looks like it's mounted on a piece of cardboard foam core in a frame. I love the finishing and all the blue and red, white, and blue tones behind in the picture. But as far as the pattern, I'm looking forward to stitching it. I like her take on this flag. I stitched one last year. I believe the one I stitched was by Sweet Bean Studio. That was similar. It looked like a patchwork quilt. And I really enjoyed stitching that one, and I had the perfect bag for it. So when you have a perfect bag, patriotic for a perfect patriotic piece, and you even had red, white, and blue baker's twine there, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in there now so I'll have it. So all I need for that one is the fabric, and I should be able to come up with that soon. And then what else do I have? I do have a giveaway winner from last weekend. I shared this one with you last weekend. Oh, where is it? Summer Tribute. And I pulled the name before filming the video, and it's D-A-Z Stitcher. So D, I'm gonna leave a comment in your comment from last week's video that you won this, and congratulations, D. You comment and watch my videos a lot, and I want to thank you for doing that, and I'm happy that you won this. And then I have one more piece from October House Fiber Arts that I'd like to offer up as a giveaway. I think I have already done a giveaway for this piece, and this one had slipped to the side, so I want to go do another giveaway for this pattern this time, meaning I've given away 2 of this pattern. This is the 3rd one. So if you're interested in winning this video, you must be 18 or older unless you have your parents' permission to give me your mailing address. And I ask that you not say giveaway or winner down below. Just tell me your favorite patriotic holiday. Memorial Day, Patriots Day, 4th of July, Flag Day. Just leave a comment below. And then I come to one other thing. So while I'm digging through my stash, I found this piece. And I did videos up and through around October of last year, and then I stopped through the Christmas gift giving months because my work got really hectic for a while. And I had this as a giveaway. And I know that there were 2 attempts to give this away and over like 4 videos, and I couldn't get people to respond. So I'm gonna offer it up since I've had so much good luck in the past couple. So with all of these October House designs that I've been giving away, they were graciously gifted to us from Robin of October House. So if you've won one of those patterns, I please ask that you go and thank her for her generosity. I've really enjoyed gifting them to you and sending them to you, and I've gotten your emails, those of you that won, letting me know that you had won, and I hope all of you have gotten them. I think there are only 2 that I haven't heard back from as far as getting them, but out of all those patterns, and there were probably somewhere around 10, give or take, there's only 1 that I had to re-gift for the person not claiming the pattern. So I hope I have that good luck here. But before I show you what pattern it is, I'm going to show you my piece of that same. Meaning I was hosting a stitch along with this piece, and it is October 31st, Cottage Garden Samplings. And I want to show you where I am. So I had put this aside again because I was doing a lot of work hours. And this is stitched on the called for fabric. Let me pull my pattern. Called for fabric, and that is Ancient 40 count by Picture This Plus. And if I had to measure this, actually I have a OmniGrid ruler right here. We're looking at about 9 inches, a little less than 5 inches. So something you could probably easily frame with something you can pick up at Hobby Lobby or somewhere like that. But this is my progress. So what I have for you is this pattern and all the threads, but I'm gonna wait until the next video to give that one away. So for this week, this is gonna be the giveaway, is gonna be Pollinator's Garden. Again, just let me know your favorite patriotic holiday. So maybe we can stitch along on this together. I know I'm not the only one still working on this stitch along. I know I've seen several of you posting updates on your Instagram every now and then, so maybe I can jump in with some of you that are like me that have not yet finished it, and we can finish it all together. So what else do I have here? So I think I've showed you all the stitching things, but yesterday my husband and I spent a few hours just going to some of our local haunts for junking. I saw lots of cool things. There's only one thing I wish I had picked up while I was there. I just kind of second-guessed myself and put it down, but I may go back this week and pick that up. It was just a few little stitching type items, sewing items. But with that being said, I did pick up 3 things, and these are flower frogs. And I've seen lots of you use these over the years. I was inspired by someone else back when there were blogs and not Flosstube. But I picked up 3 different ones. Like this one can fit right into a glass dish of your choice that fits it. This one can stand alone. As you see, it has its own little, I'll call them legs, but you know. And then I picked up a smaller one, and all of them will slip into some kind of vase like this one, or decorative bowl. But this is the one I already had, and I keep this up in my stitch room, and it's in a milk glass. And I got this one after seeing, as I said, someone on a blog with this one. And you also not only have the spots within the frog to put your scissors, like this, you have them around the edge of this dish. And this specific frog is actually this one I picked up yesterday. So they're all still shiny and new. Really like them. But I brought this down just to share with you because I picked those up for a friend or two, thinking I'd pass them along as a gift. And then when pulling it out, I remembered about this one. So many years ago, some friends and I had gotten together one night here at the house, and one of them was a beader. And she asked that we all get our own, get some beads, and she brought her, it's not string, but the beading, I'm gonna say string. I know it's not string, but beading string to bead them. I brought shells. I got these rock beads there made out of stones, and this turtle that's made out of shell because I love turtles, and and turtles and frogs, because this is a frog, not a turtle. And we made it so that we could remove the scissors if needed, and we wear this around our neck. And then we called it a chatelaine. I believe that's the technical term. So when you're stitching, you make it long enough so you can snip your threads while they're hanging around your neck. And it was great for taking to retreats. And I just love it. These colors are me, the beads, because I picked them all out myself. They're just specifically me. The colors, the stone, the shell, everything. The only thing with these is my scissors kept doing that. I just need to get her a different pair of black scissors. But I just really love this chatelaine, and I haven't thought about it or used it in a while, but because it's been sitting right here, hanging down across the edge of the counter it sits with all these hanging below. So anyway, thought I'd share it. And after sharing a picture this week on Instagram about peaches, the peaches are in season here. They're ripening here in South Carolina, and one of the local farmers, I work in a farming community, brought a huge bag of peaches to my office, and we all shared them amongst ourselves, the workers there. And I was so appreciative. When they're fresh off the tree from the sun, they smell so good. And I just kept smelling those peaches. I mentioned there that I make peach tea. And I think a couple of weekends ago, I shared this recipe book that I had picked up while out junking. It has a peach tea recipe in here, but mine is a little more basic. I call it cheater peach tea because I go out, and I'm saying this because different ones have asked on my last video, but the Crystal Light tea packets, they'll come in a plastic container about that long, about that tall, at the grocery store, and there's probably around 6 packets, and they're for the larger 2-quart containers that you make teas and lemonades and things in so that you can store them in your refrigerator. So I use one of those, and I will peel and press a peach or two and then slice one up to put in there, so you've got the juices from the peaches, but the peaches themselves. And I mix the Crystal Light to the package instructions add the fresh peaches and the peach pulp that I've pressed, and then I put about a cup of orange juice in there and stir it up. Sometimes, depending on how warm it is or how close to dinner time, I may put ice cubes in there to help cool it down quickly, but it's best if you make it maybe the night before if you're going to have a barbecue or something like that, and put it in the refrigerator. So again, it's just a Crystal Light tea packet, a cup of orange juice, 2 to 3 peaches, one of them pressed and the pulp used within, and then one of them sliced and placed in there, and the water that it calls for on the packaging directions, and that's it. So if you try it, let me know. I'd be happy to hear from you about that. But until next week, and when I have more progress on my stitch pieces, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and it is full of hugs and stitches. Bye-bye.